What's up, everybody? It's your boy D Mac, man. Uh, well, I want to discuss genders because we continuously have this battle of the sexes that never seems to have an end to it. And there's always a constant finger pointing battle between male and female genders. There's always blame shifted upon each other, and we can never come to a place of peace or a treaty in this situation. And it causes nothing but tension, it causes nothing but turmoil and division amongst us, and we can never live in harmony with the counterparts that we so desperately need to balance us out in this life. So, why do we continually perpetuate this battle of the sexes, and we're always saying those two things that keeps us constantly divided? Women need to do this. Well, the men need to do this. Well, what about the men? Well, what about the women? This right here is the monkey wrench in our relationship between us as male and female. That right there causes so much turmoil. So much comes out of that right there. What I just stated to you. Well, if men would do this, well, what about women? That right there is a monkey wrench that has foiled every single movement we've had. And I'm here to say this, and this is just my personal belief. You can push against it, you can enlighten me, or whatever it may be. I'm always welcome for conversation and dialogue because, like I said, I always speak to provoke um, thought. So I feel as though gender has absolutely nothing to do with accountability. And I say that in the context of we say, well, the women need to do this and the men need to do that. No, we all need to just do what we're supposed to do, period. We've known for a long time what needs to be done. We've just been slothful in acting and we put it on everything else. Oh, well, we don't have the time, but we make the time for the things that we really truly desire. It says where a man's treasure is, there also lies his heart. And I'm not speaking of man just as the male gender. I'm talking about mankind. But we will continually have this battle amongst each other, and I have my own personal uh, opinion on why that is. Based on study and things that I've come across over the years, that makes a lot of sense to me. But I'll leave that alone. I'll just stay on this broad view. And so the battle between the male and the female gender, we have what they call the toxic masculinity or the male chauvinist on this side. That is the extreme of the men. And then on the other side, you have the feminists, who's the extreme of the female side, in my opinion. And these two factions will take it upon themselves to act as though they're speaking for the entirety of the gender. And so, what that does, when that gives them a platform, you have all of these males out here who act as though they're speaking for the entirety of the male gender when they absolutely cannot speak for the entirety of the male gender because we are so many different, we think so differently, we act so differently, we've experienced so many different things. No one person or one group of people can speak for the entirety of a gender. They can only speak on their behalf. They can only speak on what they've seen and what they've witnessed and what they've experienced. That's all. But This is something that keeps us constantly fighting and constantly battling ourselves, because those of us who are in that middle place where we're cool with each other and we're not tripping on all of that stuff because we understand that it's a personal accountability thing, and really and truly it's not going to be explained away by, well, that's just how men are. I'm a man, that's what I know. It's not that. That's a cop out. That's a crutch. That's a scapegoat. All of the above, and we're not accepting that anymore. It's unacceptable. That crutch that we use, well, that's just how women are. No, that's not how women are. That's how some women are who choose to be like that. Well, that's just how men are. I'm a man. That's what we do. No, that's not what we do. That's what you personally choose to do. And you try to justify it by putting it on all of us, giving us this stereotype that this is all men. When anybody with any common sense can tell that that is not all men, and that man does not speak for all men. Now, do we have a lot of similar traits as men? Yes, we do. But our thought process, the way we reason, the way we deal with people, our self esteem, our convictions has absolutely nothing to do with any other person. And you can never group us together and put one label on us like that, because there's too many thoughts, there's too many different mindsets for a person to narrow us all down. So that's narrowing all men down to one single thought process. And that's absolutely insane if you really step back and think about it. And the same thing for women. When the women use those tropes, well, this is what women do. This is how women do. No, it's not. That's your personal choice as a female, because you were taught that from someone else. But don't take the error teaching that was taught to you and try to represent or speak for all women. That's ignorant. That's very ignorant. And we are, both genders are massively guilty of it. And like I said, I'm not here to point no fingers. I'm pointing it at both sides. It's us, all of us. But we've become so accustomed to avoiding accountability that we will make up these fabrications in our mind. We will fabricate a whole story just to get the heat off of us. Think about that. You had people who have, well, just for an example, you have people who have made up a story of being sexually abused in order to get back at somebody because they were angry with them. You have people who have made up stories about females, dudes, because they wanted to seem like the man to their homeboy and destroy that girl's reputation, even though it wasn't true. But because he had more respect and more popularity, everybody believed that boy and destroyed that young girl's, her self esteem and everything, her trust. And this is what happens when we don't take personal accountability and just say, oh, that's just what guys do. No, that's not just what guys do. I remember they used that excuse for Donald Trump when he used the grab him by the coochie line. You know what I'm saying? And that wasn't a line. He didn't even know he was being recorded. That was just him being him. You have a lot of people who will justify a lot of things in life, man, but no matter how much you try to justify it, when you sit back and you break down the whole entire situation, you're going to see your own accountability in everything. Even if you're right, even if even if somebody did something to you, you still have some accountability in that. You don't believe so? All right. So, Guy comes home, his wife finds his wife in bed with another guy. He's destroyed. Oh, his heart is so broken because he just can't believe that his wife betrayed him like that. Now everybody would see him as the victim. Oh my God, she's horrible. She just don't have no heart. Oh, she's a thought. She's this. She's that. Not knowing what his accountability is in that situation, he stopped doing the things that made her fall in love with him. He stopped doing the things that made her feel appreciated and made her feel beautiful. He stopped doing all of the things that he vowed before God that he was going to uphold. Because, when you be with somebody for a while, you're going to become common with them. You're going to start to take them for granted. And so it's human nature thing. We say that, but no, it's not, because there are people out here who are absolutely in love with each other every single day for the entirety of their lives together until they leave this earth. So we can't say that. We can't justify that because we see that it can be done. There are people who stay in love and who remind each other every day just how much they are in love with each other. But in that scenario that I just spoke of before, that brother, everybody be, oh, he's such a victim, and I can't believe she did it. I get with you, brother. I get with you. Come on over here. Since she don't appreciate it, come on over here. And then he go on over there to you, and now you see all of the inconsistencies. You see all of the neglect. You see all of the um, taking her for granted, and what led up to her ultimately seeking that from somebody else. So there's an accountability to be held in every situation from both sides. Don't ever think that you have no responsibility or no accountability in any situation. Let's say you walk into the store and you get shot. It's a stray bullet. Somebody's out there, they having a squabble or whatever. You just walk into the store minding your own business and you get shot. People say that was horrible. Oh my God, these are just monsters out here. These streets are just so horrible. He didn't deserve that. He didn't. But now let's look at what your responsibility or accountability was in that situation. Um, I can't say that all neighborhoods are violent neighborhoods. I can't say that it's not safe to walk to the store in every neighborhood across America. But I will say that you know your neighborhood, you know your environment. What's happening, my brother? What's going on, man? Yeah, man. I'm so tired of us fighting each other, man. Just that monkey wrench of pointing the finger at each other, man. It keeps us divided as genders, man. And all of these other gender identities are developing out of that because you have some people who don't want to be associated with their natural identity or their natural gender. And you got some people who admire the other gender more and they try to emulate and mimic that gender. So man, it's getting crazy out here. There's so many different things that's coming out of this whole gender thing, this whole gender blaming, I guess you could call it. That's the new thing. Gender shaming. That's the new thing. So we'll just go with that. But yeah. So like I was saying, let me get back to my point that I was making about the um the shooting. So what would be your personal accountability in walking to the store and you accidentally catch a stray bullet? Well, usually there's going to be some type of warning before destruction. And unless it's like a drive-by where nobody gives no type of warning or anything like that, you're generally gonna hear an argument ensuing. You're generally gonna hear, and most of the time, this is for everybody in the world, white, black. If you hear this from a black dude, all right, nigga, watch this. If you hear that, duck. Please duck. Whether something pop off or not, just be on the safe side. It's better safe than sorry. When you hear a black dude say, "All right, nigga, watch this," duck. Get out of that area, move around, because that turn right there is generally gonna lead up to some pow pow bang bang. And so, but not only that, man, just a kid walking to the store. Trayvon Martin was just walking to the store. He was just walking to the store, got him some Skittles and got him an Arizona. And he was headed back to the crib, and this dude behind him just yeah, run. This dude behind him, you know what I'm saying? What you doing here? Whatever conversation went on between them, it was apparent that, George Zimmerman was looking for some trouble, and Trayvon gave to him because we try. Come on, let's be honest. We try to sit here and what's the word? Make him a saint, and we know how our black teenagers are. And Trayvon probably cussing that dude out, calling him some stuff, flaming him up like the young teenagers do. And dude got in his feelings and used that as an opportunity to teach a lesson. Horrible thing took place. A travesty of justice took place. But Trayvon has some accountability in that situation. And I know that's a hard thing to say and that's a hard thing to hear, but Trayvon has some accountability in that situation. A lot of our brothers who we go out here and we riot and we protest for have accountability in those situations. And when we look at the tape, the thing that stands out and sticks out the most in our mind is when the shots go off and that man falls and not breathing no more. But we will disregard everything that led up to that because the end result is far worse than everything that led up to it in our minds and the way we think about things. But when we look at our brothers, when we look at some of their choices and some of the actions that they made, they have an accountability in that thing more often than not. So true, man. And it's we gotta fix this. We gotta fix this. Not women gotta fix this, not men gotta fix this. We humans gotta fix this. Let's get off this man and woman need to do this and that, man. I mean, we understand that. Women understand. Whether they in denial, but they know. Because in order for you to be in denial, then that means you have to know right from wrong. And they know right from wrong, and they know when they're wrong, even though they're justified. What's happening, Uncle Vern? And same thing with us as dudes, man. Same thing. We know right from wrong. We know when we're doing right. We know when we're doing wrong. So we know it's a personal accountability thing. This dude next door to me is a great father. He's a Nigerian brother. Great father, great family. Came starting this little business out of his garage. I see the brother building. I see him and his wife and his family building. Now, you can probably go 3 houses down. Another Nigerian dude, totally different. Everything from like night and day. But most times, often we lump all of them in the same little group. Oh, all them Nigerians do that. Oh, all them Nigerians do this. That's the ignorance that we operate from. So we do that to it seems like every group, we seem to do that. And that's the monkey wrench that's hindering our movement a lot of the times. because the movement is not going to operate without our sisters, without our queen. It absolutely will not. We as men understand that, queens. I want you to know that foremost in our thoughts is understanding that this will not happen and will not work without our queens by our sides. So I don't even know, man. And we have queens out here. They come on our shows. They speak their voice. They challenge us and they give their opinions and they help us to grow and help us to understand them. So there's some women out there with the understanding and the capability, but it's a personal choice. Truth Lady, she chooses to research and study all of the stuff that she do. And when she come on here and drop a jewel on me, man, I'm left. Now I gotta go back and study because she done hit me with something. Same thing with you, Uncle Vern. Same thing with you, Rev Tony. You know what I'm saying? It's a personal choice, though. We personally choose to do this, and you see how small our numbers are, but how powerful our message is. But it's a personal choice for us to do that because we understand coming with messages like we do, then we're not going to get that exposure because that's not what the world is pushing. We understand that, but it's a personal choice to do this, male and female alike. So it's not a gender thing. Let's get off that gender thing, man. That's old, that's played out, is immature. We bigger than that. We've evolved past that, man. We got greater understanding than that. And we still wasting our time on these old tags and these old tropes that we keep placing on each other that's holding us in one place. Don't nobody have to oppose us in the movement. We oppose ourselves. So yeah, all the work is done by us. All they do is sit back and just throw out the little heat. You know what I'm saying? They the procrastinators, not the procrastinators, but the antagonizers. Oh, you hear what they said? You hear what Whack 100 said about Master P? What? Whack 100 said about Master P? You know what I'm saying? Now everybody on that. You know what I'm saying? But man, it's just a tool. It's just a tool. And that tool is a monkey wrench. And they get thrown in the wheels all the time and stop. We stop and have to wait, work it out, get it out, and then that monkey wrench get thrown right back. So imagine the black movement as a big ass machine that got all of these cranks and all of these pulleys and all of these sprockets, and every 15 to 20 minutes, you just sticking a big old wrench in there and stopping the whole machine. So the machine got to shut down now so that it can work this monkey wrench out and so it can crank back up again. But as soon as you get it cranking and going good, somebody stick that monkey wrench right back in the sprockets and shut it down again. That's the black movement. That is the best analogy that I can come with for the black movement. Our machine is continuously stopping because somebody's always throwing that monkey wrench in there, and we got to stop and shut everything down to work it out and then move a couple inches more. So how about we just get rid of the monkey wrench altogether? That's my whole point of this whole show that I just did, man. I think I'm gonna leave on that note, man, because I don't really have much more to say on that. That's it's just what it is, man. I hope y'all got something out of this and just gave you a different perspective of the male female battle that we constantly have, man. I love each and every one of you, man. I appreciate my brothers for coming through, man. I love you for your support. And you know what I say, man. Sticks and stones can break your bones, but the word can always heal you. I'm out.